Good morning, you two. It's Miss Hemingway again. Welcome to today's literacy lesson. To do this literacy lesson, you will need to have completed the first two literacy lessons that are on the blog. So that is writing about the food in China and writing about the weather in China. If you haven't done those yet, you need to pause this video and pop over to the blog to complete your writing. If you've done those, today we are going to be editing and improving our work. So this unit we've been focusing our learning on conjunctions and including conjunctions in our writing. What type of words are conjunctions? That's right, they're sticky words, aren't they? Words that are used to join sentences or clauses together. Now pause this video and write down all the conjunctions that you can remember. Fantastic. I wonder if you got them all. Let's read them together. And, but, so, because, or, when, and if. Today we're going to be looking at the conjunction or. Or is a coordinating conjunction, and we use it when we're writing about alternatives. So it's usually when there is a choice to be made or to be considered. Should I play on my bike or should I watch TV? Can you see how it is a question? Are there any other sentences that you can think of where you would use the word or? Have a go at writing your own example. Okay, when you've done that, we're going to do our quick quiz. See if you can tell the person that you're with the answers. I bet they'll be surprised about everything you know. What continent is China in? That's right, Asia. What is the capital city of China? Beijing. What language do they speak in China? Mandarin. What is the name of the money they use? Yuans. What might you see in China? Now you might have said the Great Wall of China, the Dragon Dance, the Lantern Festival, the Lucky Colour Red, Beijing, Shanghai, the Forbidden City, the Terracotta Soldiers. I'm sure you had a lot to say. Today we're going to be editing and improving our learning. So that means we are going to be tweaking our work to make sure that we've included everything we were hoping to include. And remember, we always do this to our writing. Adults do it as well. Even famous writers do it. They get their ideas down and then they make sure that it's as perfect as it can be. So I'm going to be looking at spellings and seeing if I've used my phonics and if I've used all the common exception words that I know and spelt them correctly. I'm going to be checking that I've included the features of a leaflet. I'm going to be checking my adjectives to make sure that they are levelled up. This means that I might be using a thesaurus or just using my brain to think of interesting words that I could have used instead of words like big or nice or good. I'm going to check that I've included conjunctions. I'm going to check that I have used the punctuation I need to use. And I'm going to check that my letters are formed correctly, so that I've done my best handwriting and no letters are backwards or formed incorrectly by mistake. Can you remember the features that we need to include in a leaflet? Pause this video and see if you can remember them all. Let's check. So we need headings. The heading of our leaflet we have already done because we did the first 2 sections in school. So our leaflet is all about China. The subheadings you will need to include before every section. So the 2 subheadings the sections that we did in school were information about China and places to visit. We then did further subheadings because we did the Great Wall of China and the terracotta soldiers. And for the sections that you've done at home, your subheadings would be delicious food or something along those lines, and the weather in China. You need to make sure your leaflet's bright and attractive and that there are interesting diagrams or pictures. Don't worry about this right now, because when you are presenting over the next few days, that is what you will need to include. And we need to be including persuasive language. Remember, this leaflet is trying to convince people to go or to want to go to China. It's not wanting to put them off. Okay, so I was wanting you to help me edit and improve my paragraph so that you can have a practice. And after that, I want you to go and edit and improve the 2 paragraphs that you have done while at home. Okay, so the first thing is you'll need a blue pen. We know this, we do editing in blue pen at school. If you don't have a blue pen, just make sure that it's a pen of a different colour so that you know what you have edited and we can clearly see it. The first thing I'm going to do is check my spellings using my phonics and check the spellings of the tricky words, the common exception words that I know. Facts about China. Wait, doesn't facts. Now remember, what we will do is neatly cross out the word we're editing and we'll put our new spelling on the top. China is a country in the continent Asia. The capital city of is a tricky word we should know. Of is spelled like that. Is called called. Called. Called is a word that has the suffix ed on the end, called. But the big city is called Shanghai. Did you know the tallest mountain in the world Oops, my handwriting's not great on this computer, it's quite tricky. World, it sounds Older, but the tricky part is here. It's not it's or. Is in China. It is called Mount Everest. The people like to climb to the top, but it can be very dangerous. In China, people speak lots of languages, but the main one is Mandarin. The currency used is called yuans. I think I've checked my spellings well there, so I'm going to tick them both off. Can I check I have included the features of the leaflet? So you're not doing the main heading or the presentation parts. You just need to check that there is a subtitle and you've used language that would persuade the reader to want to visit China. I think that I have done that. I've done a subtitle definitely, and I've given some interesting facts about China that might make them want to go and visit it. Can I level up my adjectives? Now I noticed when I was reading that I'd used the adjective big, and it is the big city, but we know a lot of better words that I could have used instead of big. Pause the video and tell me which words you know instead of big. I know you know a lot. I thought I would go for large because I think it sounds quite professional instead of, massive or anything like that. But I've also put that it's the largest city. It's not just the large city, it's the largest city in China, and that's called Beijing. So I have double checked that my adjectives are good. Tallest, I think, is already a good adjective, and dangerous. Can I check that I've used conjunctions? The capital of the city of China is called Beijing, but the largest city is called Shanghai. Great. And look, in China, people speak not just a lot of languages, speak a lot of languages, but the main one is Mandarin. Perfect, I've done that. Can I check that I've used the right punctuation? Now, I noticed this before. We know capital letters are used for the name of places. So that should have been a capital letter, and that should have been a capital letter. This is also the start of the sentence. That wasn't very good, Miss Hemingway. China is a country in the continent Asia. The capital city of China is Beijing, but the largest city is Shanghai. Did you know the tallest mountain in the world is in China? What goes here? It's not a full stop. It's a question mark, isn't it? Because we know sentences that start with did you know are questions. Okay, great. I've checked my punctuation, and my writing is on a computer, so I can't check my letters, but I know that you will. When you've checked, your work should look like this. There are not too many changes. You can still see your work, but it looks like I've already improved it, and I've gone through that thinking process of checking my work and making it even better. When you've finished that, I want you to move on to the next activity given to you on the blog. Good luck, you two. I can't wait to see your work.